Oi, pessoal, sou Catarina Moraes e hoje a gente vai falar com Duran Jones and the Indications. So I wanted to start off by talking about your upcoming project, Flowers, which is going to be released in June. And I saw that we were expected to see themes of like growth and maturity throughout the album. So I wanted to know, what did growing up look for you guys musically while creating Flowers?
I think for me, it really felt like Flowers in a way felt like an assessment of all of the past records, all of the trials and the difficulties, the questions that I had within my head about how to do things.
Mm-hmm.
I really could look back with Flowers and see the growth, you know? So it was, I guess, maybe not so much growing, but maturing in a way, realizing, you know, like I've blossomed, like I've bloomed. And now I can look back and, you know, really see the process of what it took to get to this point, to make a record like this. So in a sense, it was more like a maturing process,
Nice.
which was beautiful. Yeah.
That's amazing. I read that you guys wanted to like return to your roots. Maybe that also has to do with that type of reflection, and literally you went to the basement where it all began. So I thought it was very, very interesting because I wanted to know the creative energy compared even to your last album, because there is a big time difference between Flowers and Private Space. So what was the difference even in that process? Like energy-wise, as a group, how was it for you guys with Flowers and the differences between the last project?
Yeah, I mean, I think energy-wise, it was a big jump up, honestly. I mean, especially like the last record was recorded during COVID, which is just a very stressful time, you know? Like we were getting hoarse in the studio because we were talking all day through double masks, you know, like masks or two masks at once, and you know, just a lot going on. And I think in the interim we've grown a lot as individuals, and I think, you know, artistic collaboration it's a relationship, and I think in any relationship, the more work you do on yourself, the more of a whole self you can bring to the relationship, the healthier the relationship is. And so I think we've all put in the work on ourselves, and we're able to bring that to the table. And in doing so, we're able to hear each other more, give each other more space, which in turn creates more space for ourselves. And so, yeah, this overall has been a really wonderful recording process.
That's amazing, because I was actually going to ask you guys, because you guys both did amazing projects, like solo projects, and I thought it was very, very interesting because I felt like an inner growth when I was listening, of course, inside of your both projects. I thought it was like very intimate and very a moment where you guys showed a different side to yourselves that we got to know as listeners. And I wanted to know if this new project has like maybe a fusion of you guys meeting up and understanding what is this like new era for you guys, intimate wise even, because before it was I saw Duran an interview where he said that he was a collaborator. And he collaborated in the group. And now I wanted to know, has this relationship changed or in any way after you guys did projects by yourself?
Yeah, and Blake also has now started to release music under his own moniker, Patchwork. So, Blake, you want to speak on it?
Yeah, I think we've all spent a lot of time like listening to not only like the words we say, but listening to each other's records, and then kind of like being very like inquisitive of being like, how did you do that? And as you go through the process, maybe someone introduces something that feels foreign, you know, like for instance, I think there was like a period where like we were recording drums on something that already had a drum track, and Aaron's like, I want to record more drums on top of this. I'm like, I don't really get how that works. And then we kind of like talked through it and like figured it out. And I was like, oh yeah, that's working. I get it, you know? So, kind of like combining, you know, experiences that we've had individually on projects and like all these tools that we picked up has like really expanded the kind of tool bag we have as a group to, not only just like produce records, but just to write too, like coming up with different strategies to like push back creative blocks and stuff.
That's really cool. Were there any unexpected sources, even of inspirations of you guys for this new record? Maybe music, books, even conversations that helped you guys guide and find a way to create Flowers? For
me, I would say an unexpected source during the songwriting for me was my grandmother. She passed away in 2018. It was either 2018 or 2019, but nevertheless, she had passed away, and I randomly walked into a bar and heard this song that she used to listen to that I haven't heard for years, at least since I was like 5 or 6 or so, and I felt like it was a sign from her. I got really excited and I asked the bartender like who was the artist or whatever, and so I just started listening to this artist a lot just to be closer to my grand, to like have that sentiment of sorts. And I was in the shower one day listening to a song by this artist. Her name is Oleta Adams, and the song is called Lover's Holiday. And this was right before a songwriting session, before we got together, and Blake, Aaron, and our keyboardist Steve were playing, you know, this really cool groove, and I was just thinking to myself, like, what could be a lover's holiday with the Indications point of view? Like a lover's holiday with the soul point of view from 2025. And I, you know, once the guy started tracking, I was like, you know, I have this little crazy idea, and we just rolled with it. And it was just so nice just to get that little bit of inspo from my grand from beyond, to where like we could create something beautiful like Lover's Holiday together. Wow. So yeah, that was unexpected inspiration.
That's amazing, but it's a very specific and very intimate also experience, because what are the odds to listen to a song that your grandma used to love? And it's very curious because I first heard you guys in 2016, like Is It Any Wonder, Now That I'm Gone, I genuinely thought that you guys were a lost treasure from the 70s. It was kind of me silly because I didn't check that it was 2016, an album released in 2016. So I thought it was like, I was actually going to gatekeep a little bit and keep it to myself because I thought it was so beautiful. And then I just realized when it was 2016 and the album was released that you guys have this timeless sound to you, which I really enjoy. So I just wanted to know if you guys actively like try to tap into eras and moments like the 70s or old school, because I know you guys have this soul music inside, but does it come naturally from the way you guys move like through music and how you guys organically like want to express yourself through music, these types of sounds?
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely comes naturally, and the word timeless is definitely something that we talk about often as the goal. And I think timeless it doesn't just mean, you know, it sounds retro. Like timeless is sort of, it just means that you can't pin it to a specific era. And that's something we definitely go for and celebrate. Like it's absolutely possible, like you can hear on our first record, to make something that sounds specifically old school. And that's really fun to do. But I also think there's something special and maybe more unique about taking different aspects of different eras, because we love music across genres, across decades. And if you can take these different elements and understand how they fit together, you can create something that, like you said, you can't tell exactly what decade it's from.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think you guys do a very good job when creating that. So congratulations. And you guys released Flower Moon, and I thought that your falsetto was very amazing, Aaron. And also, like, all you guys are just, your voices and your emotion throughout when you play the songs. It's very captivating. So I wanted to know, when you're writing the songs, specifically like Flower Moon and also like the whole album that's coming out, what do you draw like from emotionally, usually when you guys write together, because it's usually a combined work?
Yeah. One of the things I love about music, and it's just kind of like an observation I internalized like a lot more recently, was how emotive music can be without lyrics. Mm-hmm. And we talked a lot about how we tried to make this process as intuitive and instinctual as possible. So like frequently when you kind of, and I think that is why like we end up writing a lot of love songs, is because it's like stylistically that's a lot of how this music was. And then when you start just like, stream of consciousness sing over top of a song that feels like that, you just start singing like, baby, I love you. Mm-hmm. That's just what comes out. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I thought was, we worked really hard on like the communication within the group and making sure we were taking time to listen to each other, and, being able to sit down and write lyrics and not just have the end goal writing the lyrics, but, like sit and listen to each other for a while and like, try to create lyrics that came from like a lived experience, even if the song isn't autobiographical or personal. Mm-hmm. Like pull from our individual experiences and try to create a through line that does create one cohesive song lyrically. Mm-hmm. But like really sitting down and like trying to pull from your memory bank rather than just like pull a story out of thin air, because I think we all have all these experiences and you can paint a very vivid picture, with if you're working from actual memories,
Yeah. That's very beautiful. And sorry, just to finish off, I wanted to know, because you guys played with like legends like Lenny Kravitz, and now you're heading into your biggest tour yet. So I wanted to know how all you guys are feeling, because this next step is actually larger venues also. So I'm very curious to know how you guys are preparing for that. And also as Brazilian fan, like we want to know if there are any plans on you guys coming to Brazil also.
Yeah, thank you so much. Our last songwriting session, or maybe we were shooting music videos or something, but me and Aaron were in the car together, and we just had this realization, like, wow, like we did not skip any steps. We went from the basement, we went from, finishing a show, yelling out in the crowd, like, can somebody, how's the band tonight? All the way to a tour bus, and now, headlining the Greek and doing some really awesome places, just getting off the road with Lenny, and we just did New Zealand and Australia for the first time. It feels amazing to see just that small little dream just sprout and grow into something so beautiful. Honestly, I think South America is the next step. We would love to get there. We get so many comments in our on our Instagram of like, when are you guys coming to Brazil? We want a Brazil show. Like, you guys need to make it down to Brazil. We promise you guys. We will try to make it happen soon.
Thank you so much, you guys. That was so lovely, and I'm so happy that I talked to all three of you, because I wasn't sure if I was going to only talk to one, so I'm actually a little bit starstruck. So thank you so much. I'm such a fan. And bye-bye, you guys. See you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Então é isso, pessoal. A gente acabou de falar com eles. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Tchau, tchau e até a próxima.